Yo, fine scouts and intrepid internet travelers, welcome to my channel. I'm Josh, your binge buffoon, if you will have me. Today, I'm going to be watching the 4th episode of HBO's The Last of Us. I want to start this video by thanking returning viewers and everyone who commented on last week's video for being just incredibly kind amid my insecurities regarding episode 3's reaction. Here I am thinking the internet is this monstrous place where smiles go to die, and you guys are just the best. Back to The Last of Us, which is really turning into HBO's biggest show since, well, I suppose House of the Dragon. That wasn't that long ago. But it's huge. It's here, and it's queer. Especially last week when it told the incredibly moving story of Bill and Frank. A story that deviated quite a bit from the source material and taught me, as a gargantuan fan of the game, a lesson about my own expectations. Even though I do feel like Joel and Ellie had some crucial bonding moments during their time with Bill in the game, I think the change and his death was ultimately for the betterment of the latter's story. In the wake of that, I've been thinking a lot about change, and I'm down with it. Not just in regard to adaptations, but in every aspect of my life. Not really. But I'm even more open-minded going into this week's episode. Actually, there's only one thing I think I wouldn't accept, because I've narrowed this down now. There's only one thing I wouldn't accept as a deviation from the game. And I can't get into specifics about it because of the people who haven't played the game and how it would spoil probably the season finale. But I will say that it has to do with a mutual violation of a main character's agency. I'm just going to throw that out there in case it is changed so that when the last episode airs, I can be touted across the internet as clairvoyant. And it'll give me a lot to talk about in that reaction. Anyway, at the end of last week, Joel and Ellie fired up a shitty S10 and drove into this week, which I imagine is going to introduce audiences to the hunters, who are not good people and deserve bullets. Although I'll probably be wrong, I'm sure the show is going to humanize them in some sort of way. Without further ado, reaction channel. Let's ride the coattails of other people's art. You know, sometimes doing reaction videos is like being in the woods and having to shit. You just really hope you don't have to. Because there's no time to dig a hole. I don't know if that sounded as clever as I wanted. Wait, what? Friday night there's an episode?
That's why men like you and me are here. We have a job to do. And God help
any motherfuckers who stand in our way. I wish I would have paid more attention to that line in my review because it's so fucking badass. It's the sort of thing that men say before they go to war. God, this opening music and the recap reminds me of Justified or something. Great show, by the way, and it's coming back soon. In a mini-series form. It's like a revival based on a novel. I'll probably react to that. Dum 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 dum. He's having a Robert De Niro taxi driver moment. Oh, you talking to me? Pew, pew. I think that's what he says in the movie. Doesn't. Yeah, that is how you aim. You know, real quick, because Joel's getting gas out of cars right now. In the game, the last thing that Bill gives Joel is a tube to siphon gas from cars. I think he says something along the lines of, you'd be surprised how much gas is left in cars.
Back in the day, we'd drive 10, 12 hours on one tank. You could go anywhere.
So where'd you go?
Pretty much nowhere. It's a siphon.
Yeah.
It's when liquid travels against gravity because pressure.
You don't know.
I know it works.
Look, I know what it does. I don't know how it works. That's a quote from the game, but it's not about this.
It doesn't matter how much you push the envelope. It'll still be stationary.
No pun intended. Volume 2 by Will Livingston.
I'm really happy they gave her that book.
I stayed up all night,
No.
wondering where the sun went. And then it dawned on me.
Feel free to wait in the truck.
I like that she's smiling more. I'm sure a lot of fans of the game feel the same way.
I got something. Here.
Yeah,
Does this
music.
make you all nostalgic?
Hank Williams, yep.
This is actually before my time.
Right.
It's a winner, though.
I don't want to say this every time, but those are lines from the game too. Oh, and now this song's playing, which means bad things are about to happen.
Got some,
Is that the nudie bank? Yeah, it is.
uh,
I wanted to see what all the fuss is about.
But it has some interesting.
These are lines too. God, I gotta stop saying that. The line
Hold
from the
your
game, too.
horses. I want to see what all the fuss is about. Why are all these pages stuck together?
She's just kidding. Building all over the magazine. That's from the game too. It's so interesting because these lines are straight from the game, but the cadence and everything and the way they're set and all that is completely different. So unless you're just an insane person like me and you've only played the game once like 10 years ago, you probably wouldn't even know.
Promise to honor, to love and obey. Each vow was a plaything that
This song played in the first teaser, I think, too. Or I don't know if it was a full-fledged trailer, but I think it was a teaser.
to obey. I wonder,
Wow.
love.
Oh, I guess the song's not gonna play the same role, which is fine. There was a specific moment during which the song played in the game. Who cares? I'm fine with change. I just said that. No, how dare they change the placement of a song? Obviously, everything I just said leads credence to how faithful this adaptation is.
Slow down.
This is slow.
Yeah. It makes sense that that is slow, that she eats that fast, because she's probably just grew up around a bunch of children just going crazy. So it's like having siblings. Especially when I used to eat at work, people were like, dude, slow down. Dude, someone's gonna take my food. Don't you know this? There's only so much on the table.
People?
Yeah.
So what are they gonna do, rob us?
Well, they'll have way more in mind than that.
Oh, he's gonna give... Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Is Joel even gonna sleep? Is he able to? Without, the pills and the booze, you know? Like in the first episode, we saw that.
Joel.
Is he gonna pretend to be asleep now because he doesn't want to talk to her? Yeah.
Joel!
Oh no.
Can I ask you a serious
He
question?
found out the
Yeah.
cheat code. Just yell.
Why did the Scarecrow get an award?
Why did he, Ellie?
Because he was outstanding in his
Oh!
Dick.
That was nice. I really love dad jokes. Except all the ones I know are way too gratuitous and vulgar for maybe even HBO.
No one's gonna find us.
No one's gonna find us.
Okay, so 3 nuns died. And I can't tell that.
Okay.
But everyone who knows me knows it. So she just trusts him, right? That much. What you say goes. Yeah, he's not gonna sleep. It's like he just lied down to make it look like he was going to sleep, to make her feel like comfortable sleeping. Coffee. Joel loves coffee. You know, when I first started drinking coffee in college, I was surprised the shit was even legal.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
You don't like coffee?
I love coffee, man. I still sometimes sip coffee, get all cranked up, and look around like I'm committing a crime.
It smells like burnt shit.
Maybe.
And odds are he'll be near a settlement. Probably close to another city out there. Ain't too many of them in Wyoming.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Whose name?
Your brother.
Tommy.
Younger or older?
Younger.
Why isn't he with you?
Long story.
Is it longer than 25 hours? Because
Probably not.
Tommy's what we used to call a joiner. Dreams of becoming a hero. So he enlists in the army right out of high school.
I like that we're
2
getting
months
this.
later, they ship him off to Desert Storm. Point is, being in the army didn't make him feel much like a hero.
Right.
Cut to 12 years later, outbreak happens. He convinces me to join a group making their way up to Boston. And that whole crew, well, for what it was, it worked. Tommy meets Marlene. She talks me into joining the Fireflies.
hope of a better
Same
tomorrow.
mistake he made when he was 18.
Right. He wanted to be a hero.
Pipe dream, him, fireflies, all of them. Delusional.
I mean, maybe.
Of course, last I heard, he quit the fireflies too.
And I hope that I don't want the Fireflies to seem like heroes flat out.
I gotta go get him.
The way I see it...
If you don't think there's hope for the world, why bother going?
hold on.
You haven't seen the world, so you don't know.
It's fair, right? Is it a world worth saving? Is it
Keep going for
devoid of
family.
humanity?
I made a promise to
Yeah, your
Tess,
cargo. Yeah.
and she was like family.
Ooh, yeah.
What if you don't find him?
I will.
How do you know?
I'm persistent.
Yeah, he is. He is.
I got up pretty early if you want to grab more sleep.
I'm not even tired.
Let's go sleep. That cut's hilarious. Also in the game. Real quick though, so Tommy obviously wanted to be a hero, joined the army to feel like one. And I imagine all the violence, the darkness, right? But whatever it is that he experienced made him feel like, I don't want this life of violence that's devoid of purpose, that heroic purpose that he wanted to feel. And then the outbreak happens and he has to be with Joel, and Joel probably gave him that same feeling. I think I said in my reaction to the first episode, if Tommy's a soldier, Joel would be an officer, making him feel like not a hero. And that's probably why they ultimately, well, it is, but the game doesn't get into it that much.
Where are we?
Kansas City. Tommy would be like an infantryman and Joel would be an officer. Everyone's a soldier in the military. So that didn't really make sense. And I'm just talking about the dynamic of their relationship.
The fuck is the highway?
I can't tell from this. I'm all turned around.
Well, don't look at the state map. Look at the
I
inside.
don't know where we are in that either. This is my second day in a fucking car, man. Where the fuck is Fedra?
Hey! Please help!
He ain't hurt.
Put your seatbelt on.
Are we gonna help him?
No.
Oh. Shit! This is already playing out pretty close to the
You
game.
see that hole?
This isn't.
Can you
There was no
squeeze
hole.
through? When I say go, you crawl to that wall and you squeeze through and you don't come out until
This
I
is
say.
tense as fuck.
And they're not gonna hit you. Look at me.
They're not gonna hit you. This is like before when he said no one's gonna find us. She's gonna trust him. She's locked into what he's saying.
Go!
Come on, Joel. That a boy.
You motherfucker!
I think that was just Joel killing somebody. Yeah, that ain't Joel. That boy. That a boy. Just for Joel, not for the violence and the murder. Hey! Oh! Oh! Quick time event! She's gonna get him with the gun. She's gonna get him with the gun. It's him or him. Yeah, you got the gun in your backpack. This is happening. And I already feel weird about it for her. Oh God, don't like this as much as your face says you're going to though. Okay, that's good. Regret. Did you shoot him in the leg? I think it was a headshot in the game. Oh no, don't. Now you're gonna do it?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
This is weird.
I don't know what to do. My legs don't work. My mom isn't far. If you can get me.
These are some serious sympathy pleas right now. Joel's gonna kill him. Joel's gonna kill him.
I'm Brian.
Brian, I don't want to know your name. Joel's gonna shoot him in the head. Yeah. This is different. Holy fuck. This...
Get back behind the wall.
Yeah, he doesn't want you to see, Ellie. He knows it's gonna happen too. The mom screaming was something else, man. Reminded me of that scene from Saving Private Ryan where when Giovanni Ribsby's fuck, I pronounced his name wrong. When his medic dies, when he's saying mom with his last breath. Ellie's really
What now?
You go out.
uncomfortable.
Get a better look?
Hopefully we spot a clear route out.
An interesting choice on how to do that scene. Oh shoot, they're yelling for Brian. It's like part 2 of the games because they made NPCs like friends now that look for each other. Well, we're getting all sorts of very humanized NPCs. Last thing about like in the game comparison, Ellie kills the guy in the game. She shoots him in the head when he's got about to get Joel, and she has to deal with that, right? The decision to have her shoot him in the leg and then Joel finish the job. Interesting.
The Chans. Henry Burrell.
Henry Burrell. I know who that
where
is.
Henry is.
Yeah, we know who Henry is, don't we? He doesn't know where he is, perhaps.
I wonder if this is the cell where my brother was beaten to death.
Oh, you were wronged.
Oh. So this woman's on a path towards revenge?
But before, people dying was okay. When you were safe and protected and ratting on your neighbors to Fedra.
They put a gun to my head.
Here.
Kind of set yourself up there.
I delivered you. I held you in my hands.
None of that matters now.
Where is he?
Pretty sure that you brought her into this world. She's gonna take you out.
You think I won't do it?
I mean... Oh, she's gonna kill you.
I'm your doctor.
Oh, God. Well, why are we more concerned about this guy than the other guy
Who
that
did this?
shot
We think it was outside.
Joel shot?
We found a truck loaded. It's not a
Jeffrey Pierce? Is that his name? He voiced Tommy in the game.
What if I had a doctor?
Oh. It's a good thing you didn't kill that guy.
Sorry.
No, he's done. Oh, so now she's gonna kill the doctor. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Find who did this. Find every collaborator and kill them all.
Someone should be like, I think you're compromised as a leader now. You're too emotionally invested.
They're not Fedra and they're not Fireflies, so who are they?
For the hunters.
People.
People.
As soon as we don't hear a truck, we move. Fast as we can.
It's left trigger. Hold it.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Huh. That was nice to ask. Even though you had trouble getting that out a little bit.
Thing is, I didn't hear that guy coming. He shouldn't have had to.
This is...
You're just a kid.
This is a lot nicer than what he says to her in the game.
You should know what it means to.
It's true. You shouldn't.
I know what it's like. First time that you hurt someone like that. I'm not good at this.
Yeah, you really aren't.
You shouldn't have had to. And I'm sorry.
Wow. Wow.
It wasn't my first time.
Well, okay. I'm sure we'll get to see what the first time was later. Oh, now he's gonna let her have a gun. This is good. Well, maybe it's good for the circumstances. This is advantageous.
Now, who taught you that?
Fedra school.
Figures.
Gun safety is important for obvious reasons, but also because well, it's bonding.
You put it in your pack. You shoot your damn ass off.
That's true, man. I always think about that when people put it back there.
We'll get through this.
I know.
He has so much confidence in him.
No sign of them. You?
Yeah.
Is video game Tommy gonna die in this? Oh, Sam drawing shit. Never mind. Maybe people watching this don't know who Sam is, and maybe we don't meet them in this episode.
They're out of food.
Yeah, so they're running around.
Henry won't let Sam starve.
Okay, yeah. So I wonder if Joel is going to get Henry and Sam out of this situation. Surely they're going to run into each other. Sam and Henry will run into Joel and Ellie. Because they're both avoiding these fuckers. Which is also what they're doing in the game. Avoiding the hunters, obviously. But now we have all this backstory. Infected underground?
When do we tell the others?
There was a shot in one of the trailers of a bloater coming out of a hole like that.
Not yet. Let's just handle what we have to handle. We can
I don't think you should wait. See, she's compromised as a leader.
blame for now.
She's not making
Okay?
wise decisions. How does she have the loyalty of Jeffrey Pierce and all these other people? And confidence.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Straighten up. I got you.
Boosting up. That's a throwback. Or a callback to the game.
Where'd you be without me, huh?
By now, Wyoming.
We're going up 42 flights.
45.
Holy fuck, those are some stairs.
How far?
As far as I can make it.
I used to run up and down the stairs in my apartment complex. People would just look at me like I'm fucking nuts. What are you doing? Training. For the end.
Hey, you know that guy
tough.
who said he was hurt? How did you know it was an ambush?
Because he's been in that situation. He's been on the other end, the other side of that situation.
I've been on both sides.
Right.
You and Tess?
And
All the
Tommy.
people we were with. My brother, too.
Right. This comes back to what I was saying before.
Did you kill innocent people?
They also have this conversation in the game. What does he say?
Come on.
Yeah, I didn't say anything.
33 floors, that's good.
It's gonna have to be.
Yeah, he's an old guy.
Get up, you lazy ass.
Lazy ass. 56 years old, you little shit.
Look, Brad Pitt's 56, and in Bullet Train, he was doing some shit. He's probably older than that.
Joe. Joe!
See, the cheat code is get his attention by
What are you
yelling.
doing?
I don't want someone sneaking up on us while we're sleeping.
Oh, I get it. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Yeah. Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey do have their own like unique dynamic. It is very different than what Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker had going on in the game, but you know, that's par for the course in its own way. Is he gonna sleep?
Hey.
No. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, now he's saying hey.
When we were talking about hurting people, what did you mean it wasn't your first time?
Here we go.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh.
It isn't fair. Your age. Having to deal with all of this.
Fair's got nothing to do with it.
Easier when you get older.
No. Probably not.
No, not really.
The reason I asked whether you'd hear the glass or not is because I've noticed you don't hear too well from your right side.
Huh. Oh, I didn't even notice that. That makes sense though. It makes sense that with the yelling and, you know.
Joel,
Hmm.
did you know diarrhea is hereditary?
Oh, it's a joke. I was gonna say, I didn't think that was true.
It runs in your genes.
Ah.
That is so goddamn stupid.
You laughed,
I
motherfucker.
didn't laugh.
Yes, you did.
Dude, seeing him smile like that is kind of wild. After so many episodes, well, 3 episodes of him just, you know, howling. Uh-oh. Well, that's Henry and Sam, probably. Oh. Oh, that's it? Damn. I really thought there was gonna be more. Like, you know, the episode just flew. Well, I think this was the Joel and Ellie episode many of us have been waiting for, as it sparked the fuse that is their relationship, ending with Joel's smile and the most infectious laugh. He even wakes up at the end leaning towards Ellie as opposed to away. Obviously, and then he's laying on that left ear so he doesn't hear Sam and Henry coming. You know, I once read a book, skimmed, okay, called Creating Character Arcs by K.M. Wayland. And in the book, she defines a character arc as the thing revolving around a lie that the character believes. And over the course of the narrative, that lie is either debunked, distorted, or corrupted in some way. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. I could be remembering this wrong. Within the context of The Last of Us, and I'm specifically talking about the show, not the game here, I think there are 2 primary lies believed by Joel and Ellie. Joel believes, or at least believed, because I think he's starting to feel for Ellie, that what he had with Sarah, that type of relationship, that light, will never enter his life, or I suppose his world, ever again. Because he has that monologue about, you haven't seen the world, you don't know, to Ellie. I suppose you could argue that the lie he believes is that he needs to protect everyone, his role as a protector. Because we have that thing with Tommy. He thinks Tommy can't do it alone and won't be good without him. But I think it's more important to go with the first one as we watch this. As for Ellie, while not necessarily a lie, she believes she needs a parental figure, a role model, maybe a protector. And that's what's so unique about this characterization of Ellie in the show, is it really emphasizes her admiration of Joel, which is something a lot of us can relate to, especially those who didn't have a role model or maybe the best parental figures growing up. Because I think people like that spend a lot of time looking for someone to look up to, and they maybe see it in everyone they meet, even when it's not necessarily there. And I'm not shading Joel in any way when I say that. I think Ellie just has certain expectations, as does Joel. Like, this episode establishes that, I think, very from the jump. We begin with Ellie looking in the mirror trying to appear tough because she wants to be powerful like Joel. Probably because she's a kid, and especially in her position, so much is out of her control. She didn't ask for this, right? That's why all of us look to parents or adults for guidance. But then we grow up and realize we're all just making it up as we go along. Regardless, she continuously chips away at Joel's armor, and it's kind of awkward, but it's also charming, and it works overall. Joel probably talked more in this episode than he has. He opens up quite a bit, surprisingly, especially in the truck, which I didn't expect at this point. And it's all thanks in large part to that pun book, which is, of course, in the game. Like, it's the same exact book. He's definitely warming to her even quicker than before he starts opening up in the truck, because he stays up all night, right, when they're in the woods, just to make sure that what he told her about being safe is true, which ties into his role as a protector, but also it's that paternal instinct. I've been trying to pin down how I would describe their chemistry in this show, Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey as Ellie and Joel, and I can't, which is a good thing. As gamers, I think we readily accepted Joel and Ellie as father and daughter for a multitude of reasons, not the least of which is appearance, chemistry, and the fact that they really did mirror Joel and Sarah. Plus, Ellie was an open book. And all of those things are different here. While their relationship in the game felt like a foregone conclusion, it's expected, but it's unexpected here. Ellie's sort of this fangirl enamored with a stuck-up celebrity who just needs to get over himself. They're very much an odd couple of sorts, like Riggs and Murtaugh out of Lethal Weapon. And I guess it is sort of a buddy cop thing, especially when you're bonding over shooting someone, which brings us to BRYAN. That moment was, of course, a much more human moment than in the game, because in the game, Ellie just kills this guy who's trying to drown Joel. And not just because we get all this shit from BRYAN, but because, well, Joel doesn't get mad at Ellie for helping him like he does in the game. You could argue that the moment that they have after the fact and during the is the catalyst for the final scene, really, when his armor's, I hesitate to use the word completely, but it's like he's ready to be this person to Ellie now, even if he doesn't necessarily realize it. And of course, there's going to be a lot of fear attached to that, which will influence his decisions moving forward. Resistance as well. However, I still didn't really have sympathy for BRYAN. I mean, he ambushed them and paid the consequences. I don't always like when shows, books, movies, whatever, try to humanize a character in a single scene. Not to mention that scene was anything but subtle. I think it would have been more interesting if we then found out that Kathleen was BRYAN's mother. That would have hammered home the whole NPCs have feelings thing via the connective tissue there with Kathleen, and warranted even more instability from her as she's blinded by her rage. Because that actress, Melanie Linsky, 2.5 Men fame, just kidding, it does have this like maternal sensibilities sort of thing to her. And they could have played off that. Well, they are playing off that, but even more so. Of course, and obviously I mentioned NPCs in the game. The hunters aren't touched upon at all, and now we meet them as this group that overthrew Fedra and aren't allied with anything or anyone. I have this feeling that Kathleen's going to adopt this brother for brother philosophy and maybe try to kill Sam to get back at Henry. I don't think it's a coincidence that they wrote her in as a character that lost a brother, because Henry, whose whole thing is being a brother, talked to Fedra, even though maybe he didn't. We'll find out his side of the story moving forward, I'm sure. That said, I wouldn't be surprised if there are a lot of changes to Sam and Henry's story compared to the game. By the way, hearing NPCs out in the distance and never really seeing them feels so much like gameplay. I am nitpicking though. BRYAN's death scene was effective. It just wasn't necessarily my cup of tea. But like, it did further develop Joel and Ellie's relationship, obviously. Ellie doesn't plead for his life. And as she walks away, he starts yelling because he realizes she's his only shot. But yeah, I mean, it was chilling for sure. But yeah, Joel telling Ellie to get back behind the wall in an effort to protect her innocence tells the viewers everything they need to know about where he's at. Even though he says she isn't family, she's cargo, something innate, something in him does want to feel that father-daughter connection again. Like people often say regarding grief, that if you don't feel it, if you don't remember the hurt, that the person you love is truly gone. And I think that applies here. Because he hasn't forgotten, and he still very much feels it. Like, he's not as callous as you would like everyone to believe. And then Ellie tries to hide her tears from Joel as she asks if he's okay. Probably just to get him to talk to her, because she knows he's killed before. She's seen him kill. And then he realizes he needs to comfort her. before showing her how to properly hold and use a gun. It's like once he realizes her innocence is sort of gone, that he's okay arming her. That scene is probably the highlight of the episode for me. Outside of Joel laughing like a child, who maybe, I guess, is rediscovering his own innocence. That was magical. This was hands down Pascal and Ramsey's best episode performance-wise, I think. Outside of Sarah's death scene in the first episode. What else? This episode reminded us that Joel's old as shit in a further attempt to ground this series and remind us that it's not a video game. As much as I wanted Joel to be this unstoppable force in the series and make Rick Grimes look like a bitch, he needs to be his age and beaten up from having trouble standing from the crouching position and walking upstairs to not being able to hear well out of his right ear. At this point, hats off to everyone involved in this series for not simply creating what the game did. They could have, but they don't. And it's also not just different to be different. The choices they make are creative ones, like no one infected in this episode, so that it can focus on its people and the dangers of people. Also, there's that final shot of Sam holding his gun correctly, contrasting with Ellie being all Travis Bickle and ridiculous early on. Because now she understands this responsibility that comes along with the power that she desires. I mean, I hope we get more bonding, Joel and Ellie bonding in the coming episodes, specifically this Friday. Shout out to HBO for doing that. But I have a feeling it's going to be a Sam and Henry kind of backstory episode where we get to find out what happened with them and the Hunters and Fedra. Yeah, I think this show is going to change Sam and Henry's story a lot. It already has. I think that's all I have for this one. Big love to everyone who was bored enough to join me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Actually, yeah, let me know if I should chill on all the this was in the game shit when I'm reacting. Drive me off this platform if you must. Otherwise, like, subscribe, drink water, stay young, and remember, don't be an idiot, be a buffoon. Peace.